Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome in. So, this is gonna be kind of a quickie little stream. Um, kind of want to go a little bit more in depth into something from yesterday. so, yesterday I kind of briefly covered a lawsuit that Candace Owens had experienced, or sorry, that not she had experienced, but that she had done in 2016 after she squatted an apartment for 6 months. So, and basically it all came to light because people decided to do some digging after in January 2019, uh, Owens attacked New York rep AOC, which I really don't care that she attacked her, but pot calling the kettle black for being fiscally irresponsible because the newly elected congresswoman couldn't afford an apartment in Washington, D.C. However, reporter Nathan Bernard exposed Owens by posting a lawsuit that showed she rented a $3,500 apartment, lived there for 6 months rent free. Rent free. We call that squatting. Then claimed she had gotten toxic mold sickness and threatened to sue her landlord to avoid paying rent. Well, I decided to do a little bit of digging because when you actually look into the legal documents, it does show the address. So let's dive into this a little bit. So obviously here's the original post, January 13th, 2019. And again, I don't give a flying F about AOC. I think she's retarded. Like, I actually think she is stupid. But you don't get to sit there and criticize someone when you're doing the same thing. Like, that's fairly stupid. So, Candace Owens versus Harbor Point Holding Company LLC, which, FYI, when they have holding companies LLCs, that's because it's basically a bunch of investors who own the building and not just one person. So, on or before August 7th, 2016, the defendant owned, maintained, possessed, and or controlled a residential property located at 1 Harbor Point Road, apartment 1605, Stamford, Connecticut. Here and after the premises. I don't know what that means. Whatever. At all relevant times, the defendant leased said premise the plaintiff for her use of personal residence. So basically, she lived there personally. It wasn't a place that she was staying or any crap like that. She lived there personally. At all relevant times, it was the duty of the defendant to exercise care to maintain the premises in a reasonably safe condition for the tenants, which basically means that she had to the landlord had to pretty much maintain the quality of the apartment. So you couldn't, if you had a leak, they had to come fix it. If an electric socket didn't work, they had to come fix it. All that crap, which that's typical. At all relevant times, yep, I already said that. Prior to August 7th, 2016, a leak caused a buildup of mold and or other contaminants therein in the air in the premises and in the premises the contamination. What lawyer wrote this? Whatever. Which caused the plaintiff to sustain the injuries hereinafter set forth. The contamination was caused by the carelessness and negligence of the defendant in one or more of the following ways. So basically, the people who are renting the apartment, here's how they screwed up. It caused or allowed and permitted the water to penetrate into the premises, causing the air therein to become contaminated and dangerous for use, and causing mold to grow in the residential structure. It maintained said premises in the aforesaid dangerous condition. What? Okay, am I the only one who's not? Whatever. It failed to remedy said dangerous conditions by timely cleaning up, causing it to be cleaned up, or causing it to be cleaned up, the excessive moisture, mold, and or contaminants in the premises. It failed to warn of the dangerous condition. The conduct of their business as a landlord caused the dangerous condition. And it otherwise failed to exercise due care in maintaining the premises. Okay, so basically what this is saying is they didn't maintain it. They didn't maintain the premises at all. But the problem with that is there's two duties. The landlord has a duty in order to fix things that are wrong. But the tenant has a duty to, one, notify them within a timely manner, and they need to have proof of that. Two, to make themselves available, or at least make it so the apartment is available so they have access to it. And I know this because I lived in apartments in New York City. I had a leak, actually, when I lived in Forest Hills. And actually had a mold issue. And I mean, it was like bubbling up. The paint was like bubbling. It was gross. But I notified the super. The super notified the landlord, and it was fixed within a week. No issues. Dried, repainted, everything, no problems. And what's humorous is I was paying only what, $12.35 a month. This bitch was paying $3,500 a month, and it was a brand new building. I looked it up. The building was built in 2015, and this happened August 7th of 2016. That building, if anything, was a year old. So I'm sorry. I really don't believe that there was a substantial leak that caused that much mold that it would affect the entire apartment, especially when it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. I could see it being localized, but no, you can go screw yourself. I ain't stupid. So, as a result of said contamination, the plaintiff was forced to suffer the following injuries, some or all of which may be permanent in nature. And these injuries are fucking hilarious. I'm just going to say that right now. So, respiratory ailments, which I love how they say respiratory ailments, and then down here they say asthma, like that's not the same fucking thing. I have asthma. It's the same fucking thing. So is coughing and wheezing. That is considered the same thing as asthma. I've had asthma all my life, so I would know. 36 fucking years of asthma. 36 years of it. I would know. Shortness of breath. Again, asthma. So the first 4 can be summed up in H right there. So they just wanted to fill up the fucking page. But here's where it gets great. E. GI complications. In what world does mold cause GI complications? And now, maybe it's some special mold. Maybe she was having it go up her butt. I don't know. But I mean, what fucking GI complications would you get? I've never heard of that in my entire life. And I grew up out in the country. I grew up, like, I was surrounded by mold and having asthma, chronic asthma. No, a lot of times what you more get is you basically get pneumonia. A lot of times when you're surrounded by mold, especially considering we stopped getting Christmas trees and bought a fake Christmas tree when we realized that every year the Christmas tree we would get moldy, and by the end of the season, or by January when it would get thrown out, my mother and I had pneumonia every fucking year. Until I was about 10 or 11, then we realized, oh, it's mold. But no, so, but I've never had GI complications. Yeah, whoever came up with the GI complications, they're obviously high off their damn rocker. Next one, eczema. I don't know about that one. Sounds to me like she probably just had ashy-ass skin. Atopic dermatitis. Sounds like she had ashy-ass skin. Asthma, covered in these 4. Allergy symptoms, including rash over the entire body. Again, it sounds like you have nasty-ass fucking skin. But then again, I mean, the allergy symptoms come in from other things. I have hay fever and all that stuff, like, and I get hives. So, I've never had allergy symptoms from mold. And actually, I believe it was a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was working with this company called Owens, and I was actually down in Mobile, Alabama, and the entire ceiling of the bathroom of the Airbnb I was staying in, black mold. And I let them know. They came in and cleaned it. By the way, little tip: don't ever use bleach to clean black mold. It's pretty much just gonna bleach it out. You actually are better off using vinegar to clean it because the acid's gonna kill it. But yeah, so they cleaned up the black mold and stuff, but I still like had to go and have an air, like I went and bought an air purifier, and I left it with them, and he gave me $40 for it because it wasn't very expensive. But I let the air purifier run for about 12 hours. I was good, and I have chronic asthma, so I don't know what this bitch was talking about. Anyways, impacted what? Cerumen in her left ear. I have no idea what the cerumen is. Is a buildup of earwax causing. Oh, God! Ew! This bitch just nasty. This bitch is just nasty. So apparently she had a buildup of earwax in her fucking left ear because she's just nasty. Ew. I didn't even know what the hell that was, but I learned something today. Yay me. Anyways, where was I? Okay, so nasty ass earwax, you just gross. Extreme fatigue. That one, yeah, I could see that one. But then again, you're 28 years old. Are you going out and partying? Are you drinking a lot? Because when you're 28, those drinks hit you a lot harder than when you're 24. Just saying. Inability to think clearly causing anxiety and depression. Are you, what? No. Maybe depression, but not anxiety. And I've actually had mold exposure that did cause the inability to think clearly. Your brain feels like you're in a fog. You don't have anxiety, you don't have depression, you just feel very foggy. Yeah. So I don't know where this anxiety and depression came from. Maybe her boyfriend dumped her. Maybe. We can't say anything about Charlie Kirk on that one because she didn't meet Charlie Kirk till 2017, so she was already a broke-ass bitch squatting in an apartment before then. Anyways. See, this is where it gets great. Systemic yeast infection. Someone please tell me, who the fuck gets systemic yeast infections from black mold? From mold. That, ew. I think you just gross. You just a gross bitch. Like, just admit it, you a gross bitch. Get over it. Scars requiring laser removal. What? No. Again. No. Go fuck yourself. And emotional distress. Now, I can understand the emotional distress when it's like, it's hard to breathe and you just feel like crap and you're tired. Yeah, it's distressing. But, when you have a $3,500 apartment, you squatted in it for 6 months, and that's $21,000. I wouldn't call it $21,000 of emotional distress on top of $15,000. Like, she wanted extra money. Oh, she's saying that the amount legal interest of property and damage is greater than $15,000. Exclusive of interest and costs, but yet she's sitting here monetary damages and court costs and fees. So I think that might be what the $15,000 is for. I don't know that for sure, but she at least lived rent free, $21,000, and then she wants monetary damages, and she wants her court costs when she lived rent free. Why don't we call it even then? You had a fucking roof over your head in a luxury apartment. On the waterfront, by the way. On the waterfront. So 7. As a result of said contamination and a result of injuries, the plaintiff has been caused to suffer pain and losses of her employment of life's leisure activities. In 2016, didn't she just sell like a company that didn't end up going live? So what employment? What, like, she's literally lying. Still. 10 years ago, still lying. As a further result of said contamination and result of injuries, the plaintiff was forced to expend money for medical care and may in the future be obligated to expend further sums for such purposes. Bitch, you had to go buy an inhaler. $25 in 2016. Fuck off. And if you didn't have insurance, it might have cost you $250 out of pocket to see a fucking caregiver. But you know what? If you were smart, GoodRx would have been $59. Oh, and yeah, by the way, the inhaler was, if you had no insurance, this isn't the albuterol HFA. The albuterol HFA is the nice one. This is just, the Prevental is the nice one. But yeah, this is a knockoff version of the albuterol HFA. But again, the knockoffs were like $30 out of pocket with no insurance and like $7 with insurance. So what future medical bills can you not afford? You can't afford $200? Then maybe you should sit down and shut the fuck up. Maybe you shouldn't be renting a $3,500 brand new 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, 1,100 square foot fucking apartment. Get a studio, bitch. I'm sorry. I really hate it when people want to sit there and pretend like, oh, I have asthma. I'm having problems breathing. Fuck you. Until you have a nebulizer sitting next to your goddamn bed like I do, fuck you. Fuck you. Sorry, I take it personally when someone wants to get all emotional. I'm wheezing. Go fuck yourself. You don't understand what it's like to be gray, gasping for breath, and the emergency room wants you to sit there and wait. Fuck you. As a further result of said contamination, plaintiff's personal items became damaged and had to be discarded. Okay, I'm going to say something right now. The only items that were damaged were clothes. And you know what? She knew about the leak earlier, and if she knew that they weren't going to do anything, she could have put them in airtight bags and vacuumed the fucking air out. Not hard to do. Take it to a laundromat, you wash them, you dry them, you put them in the air thing, suck the air out. Maybe something that was wood, like if she had a wood 4-post bed or some crap. But aside from that, like, wash it. Fucking wash it. I highly doubt your, dude, if it was all personal items, if this bitch threw out plates, oh my god. Oh my god, you're stupid. I'm sorry. Stupid people. So again, this is where you have, she wants monetary damages. Such other and further relief as the court deems fair and equitable. And you love the equitable. She's the Republican Party DEI hire. Charlie Kirk should have done that. Charlie Kirk should have gotten rid of the DEI hire. Maybe that's why they merged in 2023 and he got rid of her, because if we want to go take a little quickie looky over here. Lexit Foundation. Look at this. Hold on. So revenue, 7.45, right? 2.4, 2.910. Or sorry, 275,000 in 2023. But thing is, what you do have to look at is you have revenue of this, but here's your expensive, here's your net income. They pulled from the assets. Because they had 1.2 million in assets. They had 4.6 in expenses. Their net income was 1.7. Like, so it just seems like she's just been hemorrhaging money for a long time. And then another thing that people should probably ask: hey, Officer Tatum, why were you only taking in 26,000 when Candace was taking 230,000? Were you not as valuable? Was that the problem? Because I thought you were more valuable to Blexit than Candace. I have to ask that. But anyways, off on a tangent. Going back to the apartment. So, let's see. And this is, look, July 6th, 2017. So a year later, a year after she vacates the apartment, which she was probably evicted. Love to see that paperwork. But literally, so July 6th, 2017 is when that was filed. And if you look at the beginning, it says August 7th, 2016. On or before August 7th, 2016. Which this is basically like August 7th, 2016 would be the time that she vacated. And she lived there for 6 months. That means she got it in February. So February 7th, 2016 to this, which means that was probably a brand new fucking apartment. And how do we know this? Well, number one, here's the apartment buildings. Look pretty fucking new. And built in 2015. Now, to those people who are stupid, built in 2015, usually they end up getting finished at the end of the year. Usually towards August, September, October. And if she squatted for 6 months and vacated August 7th, that means it would be February 7th, about the time that she would have actually gotten the apartment. That apartment was probably at most 6 months old. At most. Oh, and look, let's see the views. This is nice. Real nice luxury apartment. Oh, look at that water view. Oh, yeah. Yep. Oh, there's a gym. And I guess that's the view. I mean, that's not very impressive, but it is Connecticut. The Beacon. Oh, there's a clubhouse. Ooh, look at that pool table. And the only thing that sucks is the clubhouse is on the main floor. You don't have much of a view. But I'm splitting hairs. So, this would have been the layout of her apartment. Now, where did the so-called water leak come from? Because there's really only 3 locations. They're here. They're here. And there's here. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but they're all fairly contained. Like, if there was a leak in her bathroom, it wouldn't have contaminated anything. You could shut the damn door. There's a leak in this bathroom. You can shut the damn door. The only one I could see would be this, and maybe she had to go replace a couch. Maybe some wooden furniture. But you can shut a door. 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 So, if there was a leak somewhere, it looks like it could have been fairly contained, unless you're talking about the laundry room here, but again, it's fairly contained. So you can shut a fucking door. So, either Candace is fucking retarded, or she's a liar. And by the way, for $3,500 a month, that's a nice apartment. You should see what $3,500 a month got you in 2016 in New York City. Like, you would have had just this room in New York City. It would have been a studio. Just that room, little hall, and the bathroom. That would have been it. That would have been it. Oh my god, I hate the entryway. Comes in through here. Ugh. Yeah, I would hate that. But, and that's another thing. Like, did she have a roommate? She had a 2-bedroom. Because 1605 is a 2-bedroom. All the way up. Back to listing. See, look. 1605. 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom. 1,182 square feet. It estimates the rent being at $39.47 now, but when I look it up on apartments.com, it's actually $42.35. So, and by the way, if you look at the average pricing in Stamford, Connecticut, the average pricing is like $2,500. So why did she have to get the most expensive fucking apartment? Why? I don't understand that still. Like, I had a 2-room studio in Queens. So I don't understand this. I need an expensive apartment, but I mean, she was raised in the projects of Connecticut, so I mean, you can take the girl out of the ghetto, but you can't take the ghetto out of the girl. And people from People who never grew up with any sort of finances whatsoever seem to want to blow their money the minute they have 10 cents to rub together. That's about it. That's all I can say. I've seen people get, win $1 million lottery and blow it in a year. I've seen people get a $500,000 inheritance and cause issues. But it's whatever. I just want to kind of go into that and go into the fact that, like, yeah, she's pretty much lying. Pretty much want to go on the fact that it was a brand new apartment. She lived there 6 months. Only 6 months. Which, 6 months, I believe. So, yeah, that's pretty disgusting. She rented an apartment for 6 months, didn't pay rent, and then sued the landlord for more money. So she already didn't pay $21,000 and then turn around and sue the landlord. Go fuck yourself. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get off. I just want to do a little bit of a deeper dive into that. And, yeah, I guess I will maybe come back on later. If not, then I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.